And so when a man cannot discern God's will for his life, his appetite becomes his God. That was the error of Lot. Instead of seeing from Zion, he decided to look at the plains of Sodom and Gomorrah. Meanwhile, Sodom and Gomorrah was already destined to be destroyed. So he walked into destruction because of his appetite. And Paul speaking, he said the people that their God is their belly. He said their end is their destruction. He said their glory is their shame. And so what will exonerate you from the shame and the destruction that appetite brings to you is your ability to discern God's will. You must find that line that runs through Zion into your time space and align with that line until you walk into eternity. Because life is a trajectory from eternity past into eternity future. And a man becomes a living creature when he aligns to God's will. Because at the end of the day, the greatest summary of your life is not the car you have. It is the degree to which you fulfill God's will. He said David, when he finished the will of God for his life, he rested with his fathers. They didn't say David was a king. They didn't say David was a psalmist. They said when David accomplished God's will, he rested. That means everything David was doing was summarized into one thing, the will of God. Your life can be summarized in one word, the will of God. It's either the will of God or it's not the will of God. Hope you know when you study David's life, there were plethoras of possibility. David operated in 7 anointings. David was a king. David was a prophet. David was a warrior. David was a psalmist. David was a shepherd. One man operating in 7 anointings, but they didn't pick anyone when he finished. They called all of that the will of God. Because if it is not in the will of God, it was a waste. It won't be captured in existence. Existence is defined by to the degree that you align to the will of God. So before you start talking about vision, you must first of all find God's will for your life. If not, when you want to marry, you marry a man with a big chest. Meanwhile, a big chest is not part of the scroll. What they were reading in the scroll is a man that will help you fulfill your music career. You want to marry, you are looking for a woman that the body is glowing like Bob. Meanwhile, fairness is not part of what the patriarchs wrote. The immortals were not looking at complexion. They were looking at you that a day will come, they will send you to Congo, and you will need a woman that has a large heart to be able to endure the pressure and carry the weight of destiny. But we went and married a woman that was only interested in fingernails. And so when you go to Congo, she will hold the fingernails like this and you will run home. All of you will die. What was written concerning you? You've not found that scroll, then there's no vision yet. The will of God is the heaviest molecule of your existence. And until you find the will of God, every step you take is an error. If you are in the wrong direction, speed is not an advantage.